Hi there, everybody, and welcome to this mindset video around eating a plant-based diet. And of course, I've used the word plant-based specifically because it doesn't mean to say that you need to be exclusively vegetarian, although I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. Um, when I think of my own relationship with fruits and vegetables, they have really changed over the years. Going back to when I was a kid, the war cry was, I don't like spinach, Mom. And my mom saying, had you even tried it? Right. And so many fruits and vegetables I didn't enjoy when I was a kid. And thanks to my mom saying, have you even tried it? And forcing me to try things, I have broadened my repertoire of things that I now enjoy, including such lovelies as avocados. And yes, I know I didn't like avocados, um, asparagus, and including spinach. It's still not all the way, but it has to be cooked in certain ways. But yes, spinach. So we can get very limited, just like with everything else, just like with our exercise habits. This is the way that I do it. These are the fruits and the vegetables that I eat, and we kind of narrow ourselves into a box. um, the mindset videos are around a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but to create an open mind around eating more plant-based if you're not already eating that. And since I've referenced my mom, I may as well talk about my dad. Um, so I'm just going to recall a trip to Woodstock a few years ago. And for those that might not know, Woodstock has a history of being in the hippies in the 60s. It was kind of like the commune place. And needless to say, we were going there for a day trip and it was lunchtime. And all of the restaurants were closed except for a couple, and one of those was a vegetarian restaurant. And in fact, it may even have been vegan, but it was definitely vegetarian. And I suggested this to my dad, and his kind of like sprouts are for hippies look on his face. And I said, you know what, let's go try it. Like, we're limited anyway. So there's this place or that other place. And that other place sure doesn't look so great. Well, we went there, and it was a moment for me because my dad enjoyed eating only plants, and it wasn't in the Italian pasta category. It was really a fresh plate of vegetables. I can't remember exactly what he had, but he came away conceding that if cooked well, vegetarian food could be delicious. So there's this end of the spectrum where, you know, uh, sprouts are for hippies, you need meat on your plate. There's that. And then there's the kind of other end of the spectrum, which is that if you do yoga, you have to be vegetarian. And I get it. There are certain schools that absolutely, don't want to use the word enforce, but encourage vegetarianism, under the principle of ahimsa, that ahimsa is to be non-violent towards all living things. And so if you're eating meat, you're not practicing this ahimsa, you are being violent. I think that can go too far in that direction as well. And I definitely, you know, don't like where people become very polarized in their thinking. I think there's a place in between both of them. Um, we don't need to be pure vegetarian, and we don't absolutely need to eat meat. That if you do need to eat meat for your body's constitution, and there are certain constitutions that may need to do that, then absolutely try to find local meat, try to find meat that's organic, and get to know the farmer, all that kind of good stuff. But again, it's not a question of this one diet fits all. Neither meat eating or non-meat eating is perfect for everyone all the time. So it brings us back to this place of svadhyaya, self-study. Who are you, right? Get to know your dosha. If you are vata, you may need to have a little bit of meat to ground you from time to time. Where are you? Where are you in your life? And our digestive system shifts as we get older. How do you digest meat? Is it better to eat it during the day or in the evening? How big? What kind? Right? So really not getting into a very locked in place. So experimenting with different plants, bringing in different fruit and vegetables, go and visit Chinatown or some of the Indian markets, right? Go and have fun with this. I really want this program to be a way of exploration. And even if it's just for another week, you take a moment to choose a different vegetable, to choose a different fruit, to go and look at different ethnic markets to find out what their selection is. That would be great. That would be outside of your I don't like spinach, Mom. Have you even tried it zone? So that's the first thing, is opening up around the plants. Then the next thing that I want to kind of tackle in this mindset video is a mindset that I absolutely have been very guilty of and still to this day work with it. Again, it comes from my Scottish culture, and it comes from my mom. And the mindset is, well, there's kind of a couple. The mindset is, it's only been in the fridge a couple of days. It's a shame to waste it. Now, this unit, this dinacharya, is about collecting prana, collecting life force from fruit and vegetables. And when they're in the ground, when they're close to the sun, when they're being nourished by the earth and the sky, those guys, let's take carrots, for example, are bursting with prana. As soon as we take them out of the ground and we start to move them around, they lose their connection to source. Now, it's already kind of bad enough that, they're being transported to a supermarket. The best case is you're growing them in your own garden, right? But most of the time we're getting them from the supermarket, even if they are organic, right? They're plastic wrapped, right? They got their little plastic wrap on them, and then we cook them. And now they've gone from having this much prana to, with each step in the process, diminishing their pranic volume. So then we put them in the fridge for a couple of days. And there's my mom saying, don't throw that out. It's a shame to waste it. Or even worse is, I bought something in plastic wrap and it's already dead, right? Even if it's fresh. Now, a way around this that I've come up with is to give myself the buffer when I go shopping of $10. It's a $10 risk-taking margin of error buffer. And it allows me to buy things that I haven't tried yet and know that I might not like them. And it also allows me to throw out things that I've bought when I get them home and they're not fabulous. So things like the avocado that you get, that you open and it's really annoying because it's all kind of brown and mushy on the outside, and you waited just till that moment, you thought it was going to be perfect, and then you kind of eat it. No longer, no, right? It goes because it's in my $10 margin. Same thing for, things that you've cooked, you've eaten, you've enjoyed, and then 2 days later you look at it. The food speaks to you, right? We tend to be like this, like, no, I'm not looking. If you start to look at the prana, the vibrational quality in your food, it will guide you as to what needs to be eaten and what doesn't. So taking a bit of a risk, not having the mindset of It's not okay to throw food out even after you've bought it. Another mindset that can come into play around this teaching, and it's a question that comes up all the time when I've taught this course in person, is, but let's take, for example, beetroot or something. I've got powdered beetroot. It's the same. Can I eat powdered version of beetroot? Can I eat frozen peas? How about cans of corn? What about bags of salad? So the question is always, can I eat it? Well, the answer is always yes, you absolutely can. But does it feel the same? Again, whilst we're in this little bubble of trying to look at prana in plants and enhance the prana that we're getting for plants just for this, little 10-day, 2-week block, ask yourself, does it feel the same? And if you don't know, go and take a fresh carrot in your hand, and go and take out a bag of frozen carrots from the freezer. Do they feel the same? Which one has a more higher vibrational quality? Which one is going to be more in line with what you want into the body? But remember, we're not just eating the plants, we're eating the prana. We're eating this life force into us through our cells. Cells of the carrot, cells of my body, right? So if you're not sure, go to the farmer's market if you have one close by, get a lettuce that's just come out the ground, and go and buy a packet of lettuce in plastic that's been washed, and Lord only knows what they put into the water, but I don't know. I don't like it. It tastes weird. So again, just use your intuition. When you're going supermarket shopping, take a moment, scan around the aisles, right? Feel it out. Be a little weird. Hover your hands. Okay, which orange wants to come home with you? Which zucchini is gonna come into you? Right? This is also a little bit about boundary work as well, right? What stays out and what comes in. And that will lead us into our next mindset, which will be about the skin, which is a real boundary. So again, these are all ways to take care of yourself. They're small actions, but when you feel that you've really taken care of the prana, the plants you're putting in your body, then your body will start to feel different. And I can truly say this, I was never someone who was really big into the fruit and vegetable. Now, those weeds that I'm maybe pulling out of a garden, those dandelions, I'm kind of like half an eye going, that probably go really nicely with some apple and celery and lemon and ginger. And guess what? It does. And when I drink those really strong green juices, I feel really alive. And that is where you're really mastering this plant prana good juice. And it's anti-aging because you feel like you're using these little guys, all these little plants, to help infuse their energy into me. So go and take a look around your supermarkets, have fun with this, try a new fruit, try a new veggie, and keep your dandelions. Thank you for joining me, and go have fun with plant prana.